This is TWiT.
Yeah, I mean, so with these, you know, one of the things that I've noticed a lot of these companies are doing that are releasing their different earbuds, AirBuds, iBuds, whatever, is they feature this transparency technology. And so this is a way to, because I think some of the problem with having these devices in your ears is that a lot of people want to use these while they're commuting, while they're out walking, you know, whatever it happens to be. And by golly, some people use them while they're driving. I would wish that people didn't, but they do. And you need to be able to hear things around you. And so a lot of companies are working in this transparency technology to sort of give you a perspective of the outside world. So Apple's built in this little force touch sensor on the side of the device that when you squeeze it, it lets you listen into the environment around you. I think it both disables active noise cancellation and turns on this transparency feature to bring in certain sounds. I think this is a good idea. What I find fascinating is how every single company seems to really be hopping on board with this transparency technology. And it used to be just a few sort of, I think there were some Kickstarters and things like that where they had companies that were working on earbuds that you could tune to certain sounds. And so you'd be able to hear the airplane announcement and things like that. Now I see kind of everybody hopping on this train a little bit and trying to work out a way to, unfortunately, let you always have your earbuds in and still be able to interact with the outside world. They want you to have your smart assistant available to you to be able to listen to music when you want to, but then still, if somebody comes up to your desk, have a conversation with you or what have you.
I don't know. I think that's kind of the idea.
Yeah,
for me anyway. I mean, like,
you want that? Yeah.
I just want to keep. I'd like them to be a little like to last long enough and to not. You know, for me, I don't like to keep on switching modes. You know, or picking something up. I like to just, you know, there is, you know, I'm listening to an audiobook or I'm listening to music or I'm listening to somebody or dealing with a call or whatever I'm doing. And I think that, I mean, that is the direction that most of this stuff is going. And I think the transparency makes a big difference because when you are in the car, you may not want to use the car stereo, you know, for that, for a variety of reasons, including the fact that the car mic generally doesn't sound nearly as good as your headphones.
That's true.
If you're on a call.
Or maybe your children want to listen to their favorite music and you want to listen to something completely different.
They want to listen to Baby Shark and you just want to listen to, I don't know,
anything else.
The metal version of Toto?
The metal version of Africa.
Or
of Toto.
Yeah.
Now, how many I don't know. I'm not enough of an audiophile, as it were, to know how many headphones or earphones or earbuds, whatever, offer the microphone that's also facing in toward the ear canal as well as out. So these ones, for folks who haven't had a chance to like check these out, the AirPods Pro are using active noise cancellation that has a microphone that faces into the ear canal to listen to how things sound there, and one that faces out to listen to how things sound there, and then uses that to create anti-noise to cancel out the audio. Is the microphone facing in toward the ear canal a common thing in active noise cancellation, or is this something that's more unique to the AirPods Pro? Or do we know?
I've never heard of it before.
So active noise canceling
active noise cancellation I've heard of, but not pointing into the ear canal.
Not the inward-facing microphone, yeah.
Yeah, it uses, it uses frequencies. It uses a frequency pattern, and it recognizes whatever the ambient noise is, and it sets a pattern that kind of fits within that range in order to cancel it out. That's the canceling part of it. Where that microphone sits in order to measure that, I think that's just different in all headphones. I think this is probably new-ish in that I would assume active noise canceling earphones. It probably has to be done that way in those types because that's where the room is, where the space is. So possibly the new Pixel Buds with active noise canceling might have something like that inside it. I don't remember how they said it was set up, but just because of the size, I would imagine like maybe that's where the microphone is on that one too.
Well, so it's not just.
I think if I remember correctly, Google said that they're using that plus some bone conductance to do that. So,
ooh, that's interesting.
Good old bone conductors, yeah.
So to be clear, Apple is using two microphones for noise cancellation. They have an outward-facing microphone that listens to the environment, and then, as you mentioned, plays that frequency that's the opposite of the frequency of sound to block that out. but they go on top of that and they also listen to the sound within your ear canal with a second microphone. That second microphone hears the sound within your ear canal and fine tunes the EQ as well as takes away some of the sound that might not need to be there. So it's doing both noise cancellation for the outside environment and for the tiny environment within your ear canal, as well as fine-tuning those frequencies. So that's the part that I'm curious if this internal microphone is new, and I'll have to check it out with the Pixel Buds and see.
They might be doing that for the purposes of usually a big active noise canceling because of the frequency alterations can lower it can reduce the low end a little and make it a little more high frequency. So it's possible that in order to attempt to balance that so that the earbuds are not too high end, it might be capturing what's inside your ear in order to say, oh, it's too high, let's lower the frequency for this song or something like that.
Very cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
This is just a guess. If I, just by what I know about noise canceling patterns, is that like it makes sense that they might be the new Beats Solo Pro uses active noise canceling, and something that I noticed is that they're not only are they not bass heavy, which by the way they're not bass heavy. So anyone who's questioning that, they don't do that anymore. But what I noticed is that they also don't, like the Power Beats Pro it like ramps up the bass beat for music that's intended to have heavy bass, like rap and hip hop. It doesn't actually do that in the Beats Solo Pro, which to me means that the high frequency of the active noise canceling is affecting its ability to like bring that bass quality in there. So with these, it might be that Apple was they kind of decided, our headphones are already not very low end anyway, so let's make sure that it's not too high end. Like they might be trying to make sure that they have a better balance once it passes through the active noise canceling.